Welcome back to our base of operations. We're going to put on our new outfit again. This time it's casual. I've never known casual outfits to look this green, but whatever works. So in this level we have a new enemy type. These fellows have taken advantage of their armless form to roll at us. We can hit them while they're in mid-roll, so they're not that difficult to deal with, but they're still more of a threat than the most basic enemies were. And here are some dishwasher blocks. They throw plates at us. They only throw the plates straight forward though, so moving to the side just completely negates their attack. But if you spontaneously forget that you're in a 3D video game and just run straight at them, then you might get hit. So try to remember that you're playing a 3D video game. So the gimmick of this level is that there are 3 different areas with 3 of Kitty's friends. This is where Mimi, Kitty's sister, is trapped. So when the enemies notice us, they get an exclamation point above their head. You might figure this means there's something like stealth in this game. There is, but not like that. The exclamation point is really just for cute effect. There's no real reason to sneak up on enemies. You don't deal more damage or anything. When it does turn stealth time, the game will explicitly let you know that it is now stealth time. Alright, we've stopped the spinning coffee cups. That's what they called them. They're not teacups, they're coffee cups. So now we can go rescue Mimi. But of course it can't be that simple, so when we get up here, a bunch of dishwasher blocks spawn, and we're supposed to fight them while the carousel turns. But instead we just used our love radiation attack. Having a fight with projectile throwing enemies on a moving carousel is actually kind of cool. But I mean, come on, we got a timetable to make here. We're gonna collect all these coins before we talk to Mimi. So now we have to head to the yellow door to save Purin. And no, in case you're wondering, you can't tackle them in any order you want. You always have to save Mimi first, then Purin, and then Lala. These coins weren't here before. I guess they spawned them so you'd have something to do on your way back. We have to stop the Ferris wheel right as Purin is at the bottom. The timing is fairly lenient. It stops on a dime. This is truly an evil plan the blocks have enacted. Trapping someone on a Ferris wheel, that's just uncalled for. Alright, Purin is one of the ally characters, so now he will follow us around and throw flan at enemies. And when the flan actually hits an enemy, it will prevent them from attacking for a short period. So that's kinda useful. His health bar isn't here this time because he's invincible during his first appearance. These new enemy types can be a little frustrating. They only come out of the ground when they're ready to attack you. And they fire missiles that go under the ground somehow, and you can't dodge past these. Of course you can easily jump over them, and there's a big warning on screen before they get near you. They're probably the least fun enemies to fight, but you're also probably not meant to go out of your way to fight them. So I guess that's excusable. Fun fact, if you hit bump one of them into another, it will hit them even if they are underground. So that's kinda handy. You might notice that I never rotate the camera in this game. That's not because you're incapable of rotating the camera. It's because, you know, this is on the GameCube and the C-stick makes me uncomfortable. And I generally prefer to just center the camera behind the player character anyway. Oh, you may have noticed that in spite of us rescuing people in this level, we didn't get any health boosts. That's because this level consists entirely of rescuing people, so getting 3 health boosts in one level would be a bit ridiculous. I like that these new rolling enemies have a lightning bolt mohawk on their head for whatever reason. I'm not sure what that adds to their design, but it's kind of adorable. A lot of things in this game are kind of adorable. Okay, Lala has teleported to safety, so now we can just leave. There are no enemies on the way back, so all we have to do is make it to the fountain. Welcome back to home base, so we have yet another new outfit. So we're gonna put that on before we do anything else. And now we have Mimi to talk to, but all she does is give us the character profiles, so we're not very interested in that. Fun fact, it's possible to chase after that guy immediately and ignore Tabo. So now Tabo will fight alongside us along with Purin. Tabo just bashes his head into things, so he's a lot more direct in his confrontations than Purin is. The reason we came over here is because there are coins. We're not going to use them for anything, but we're going to collect them anyway. In nearly every level from here on out, we'll gain a new ally that we can select in the next mission. You saw that the mission select let me choose Purin as an ally this time. Next time we'll be able to choose Tabo as well. This looks less like dirt and more like the multicolored sludge from Super Mario Sunshine, but it probably should be cleaned up anyway. We can't advance to the next area until we clean up all the sludge. It's really fun to hit bump enemies in this area because they smack against so many different obstacles. Very easy to stun them. There are also red bombs just lying around. Those will hurt us if we hit them with our wand, but we're just going to completely ignore them. We could also throw them at enemies, but it's just, I mean, our wand works so much better. I wonder why they chose to make the dirt, as it's called, like this weird blue colorful crayon mess. Maybe it was originally called something else in the Japanese release. These enemies spin toward us horizontally, instead of vertically like the Rolly guys. We can't hurt these enemies until they stop spinning, unlike the Rolly guys. It can be hard to hit them anyway because sometimes your allies gang up on them and won't let you have a shot. So after we clean up this mess, we could proceed directly to the next area. But there's a new enemy type here, well, another new enemy type that we can use to get to a secret area. He's a spring, so when we stun him with our wand, we can jump on him and use him as a platform to get to this place, up here. A lot of extra coins up here. This is an entirely optional area. But then again, we don't have to actually rescue Tabo either. So I guess a lot of things in this level are optional. It's kind of humorous to even allow you to leave Tabo behind like that. Like Kitty would actually do something like that. As always, we're going to put on our outfit before we head into battle. Not my favorite outfit. It's going to be a while before we get that one, but we'll get there eventually. No one to talk to here still, because we don't want anything they have to offer. We're going to talk to Grandpa very briefly anyway to save our progress. You could easily go this whole game without saving. It's not very long. But it's good to save just in case the game crashes or something. This is a pretty cool boss. We're going to use our cannons to defeat it, though, and not the love radiation attack. There's a big pink arrow that tells us exactly where the choo-choo bomber is going to come from, and we need to pick a cannon that's along the track it's going to come by. The closer the cannon is to the choo-choo bomber, the easier it is to actually shoot it. After it passes by us, it unleashes all those volleyballs, which will hurt us if they touch us. Unless we're dashing, that is. There's some new enemy types with guns that spawn near the cannons and make using the cannons kind of difficult. So you have to find another cannon that's not occupied by those enemies, otherwise they'll shoot you off the cannon and you won't be able to attack. I think that's the main challenge of this boss, is finding a cannon that's not currently occupied by enemies. Because the longer the boss goes on, the more enemies will spawn. There's also a lot of coins during this boss battle. I used to think it was really difficult to get all of them, but there's plenty of time after the choo-choo bomber goes in a tunnel to grab coins before it comes back out again. And over here is a power-up for one of our characters. If we get 3 of those, they level up. There's not enough levels in the game to level up all of them unless you feel like backtracking, which we're not going to do. This boss definitely did used to give me a lot of trouble. That seems pretty silly now, but then again, I never used Hello Kitty's dash all the time back when I used to play it. Getting from cannon to cannon would take a lot longer if you weren't using her dash. You know, playing the game without her dash ability would probably be unbearable now because I'm so used to using it to get everywhere. I find it a little weird that even though this boss is called the Choo-Choo Bomber, its bombs are just volleyballs, which are kind of harmless. Oh, by the way, these new enemies shoot 3 times before they reload. Helpful information, but we're not going to see them again for a bit. I guess all of the weaponry in this game is kind of funny kids stuff, so